Good morning. This is Stacey, and welcome to Chargers Talk 4630, your home where we have honest takes, fresh analysis, and uncomfortable conversations, and all things Chargers football. Thanks to all of you who tunes into us every day and listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Please like, share, and subscribe. Well, the Chargers and Titans meet at Nissan Stadium to kick off week 9 of the season on Sunday. And I was looking at some Titans games, and as much as we complain about all the injuries the Chargers have had to deal with, I realized the Titans have had their share of injuries just like everyone else in the league. I saw some of their key guys like Jeffrey Simmons, Calvin Ridley, Arden Key, and a few others have missed a few games, and they thin at the cornerback position as well. I see they put Ladarius Sneed on IR, and Darrell Baker Jr. missed last week's game with a concussion, although he was a full participant in practice this week, and he possibly may play. The Titans season did not go as planned, which led to the firing of head coach Brian Callahan. They promoted former Charger Mike McCoy, who took over as interim coach, which really hasn't changed much either. And meanwhile, I think the Chargers are surging at the right time as we start the second half of the season. Now, usually when we're talking about the Chargers offensive line, it's not a whole lot of good things that can be said, right? But let's be real. That unit had been one of the weaker parts of the team for a while. We spent a lot of time talking about the quarterback, the receivers, the running game, the defense. But today, I want to take a few minutes just to highlight one guy in particular, and that's Joe Alt. We so quick to criticize the line when they don't play well, but I have to give credit when it's due. Joe Alt has been great. I just want to take a second to shine some light on what he's meant to this Chargers team and how much he's changed things up front. I remember last year's draft class where reports were pointing to the Tennessee Titans, who was strongly linked to offensive tackle Joe Alt, but the Chargers selected him with the 5th overall pick, leading the Titans to draft J.C. Latham at number 7. Now, I was assuming the Chargers would draft Latham because he was a right tackle in college, right? When he was with Alabama, which was a position of need for us. I know we were trying to upgrade that right tackle spot to replace Trey Pipkins, but taking Alt turned out to be a smart decision by Coach Harbaugh. The Chargers really got an elite athlete because he played tight end in high school. For a while, he played tight end at the beginning of his college career before he made the transition over to left tackle at Notre Dame. And there, he turned out to be the best left tackle in college football. Now, the Chargers already had an established left tackle who was already an all-pro, right? So I was kind of surprised with the pick because I'm now saying, what's Harbaugh up to? It turned out to be a very wise decision by moving Alt over to right tackle. As a result, he became one of the top right tackles in the NFL, giving the Chargers, in my opinion, the best tackle combination in all of football. So as we know, Rashawn Slater went out after suffering a torn patella tendon during practice, right? Putting him on IR for the season. And after Slater's injury, Coach Harbaugh, before the season started, moved Joe Alt from right tackle to his natural position at left tackle, where he'd been just as dominant as he was at right tackle. Now, the Titans did the opposite. Now, I don't know the reason why, but the Titans moved Latham from right tackle, where he played with Alabama, to left tackle last season, where he's really struggled. So this season, they moved him back to his natural position, which is right tackle, and he's struggling there also and hasn't shown much improvement. So this game is a referendum on both teams' draft choices, right? Joe Alt's return from injury has changed everything for this Chargers offense. He's so good, man. And he's had such an impact on the offensive line that the offense is stagnant without him in the lineup. It's unbelievable that one man can make that big of a difference, but he has. Joe Alt's impact on the offensive line has been significant, improving the pass protection by leaps and bounds. The Chargers are big favorites in this game, and it's not shocking to see why. The Titans are winless at home. They're being outscored by 120 points this year, and they're facing an offense that's starting to click on all cylinders. Because of Joe Alt, Justin Herbert is being provided something resembling a clean pocket to operate from, and that's allowing this Chargers passing game to operate in a more effective way. Hey guys, I got to put you on to something I've been checking out. It's a company called Distill Union. They make these slick minimalistic wallets and magnetic key organizers, right? That just makes life easier. And get this, I've got an exclusive 20% off just for you. All you got to do is go to distillunion.com, make your purchase, and don't forget, when you check out, use my code ChargeTalk4630. I earn a small commission when you use my code, so when you buy, you're not only supporting me in the show, you're getting the best deal they offer. Wide receivers, Lat McConkey is one of Herbert's go-to guys. He's got 22 catches for 255 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that's just over the last 3 weeks. And with McCreary gone and Sneed on injury reserve, it will be up to Darrell Baker Jr. and Jalen Armour-Davis to stop this Chargers offense. Now, I know McConkey is currently questionable for this game due to a calf injury that limited him in practice on Wednesday, but it looks like he's a go and should have a big impact on this game. And look for tight end Oronde Gaston to continue his climb while becoming a huge target over the last few weeks for Justin Herbert. And keep your eyes on rookie wide receiver Trey Harris. He got kind of lost in the shuffles on the depth chart early on because he was impacted by a training camp holdout, the signing of veteran Keenan Allen, and the emergence of third-year receiver Quentin Johnston, who got off to a hot start the first month of the season, scoring multiple touchdowns in several games and was leading all Charger receivers in yards after the first 4 weeks before a hamstring injury slowed him down. But Trey Harris, who's done a fantastic job in helping the running game with his blocking, and now he's being incorporated into this offense and has come up with some clutch plays. And last week, he scored his first touchdown of the season. I like what I'm seeing from him, and I think we're going to continue to see more as the season go on. And on top of that, Khalil Mack is such an important part of this defense, right? His return has provided a much-needed boost for the pass rush, stopping the run, and setting the edges. Herbert is having a great year, and the stats prove it. The Chargers' offense is one of the best in the league, averaging 7.3 yards per play and leading the AFC in third down conversions. This matchup presents a great opportunity for the Chargers to secure another win against a struggling Titans team, and they should go 6-3 without much resistance. And that will allow them to continue their march towards a playoff berth. And remember, they're still undefeated in their division, which is a big deal and a big advantage to have, right? Well, that'll wrap things up for today's episode of Chargers Talk 4630. Drop your comments and thoughts, and you can also hit me up on X at retiredn26997. I want to hear from you. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you and appreciate your support. And as always, bolt up. Let's go Chargers. Let's go.